Hello, cool artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel under the needle quilting and crafts. It is Saturday, but I'm here for Thankful Thursday because I didn't get a chance to make a video on Thursday. Work has picked up, and so I haven't been able to use my breaks and stuff to do some sewing because I've had to do a lot more research and things like that. So things have picked up at work, so I don't have quite as much time. But I have been sewing also. I've been sewing more. I'm getting my Sojo back a little bit, so that's been fun. I got some stuff I'm working on. So first, I want to say what I'm thankful for. I know a lot of times I forget to say what I'm thankful for, but I am thankful for good, well-written television. And that seems odd, but here's the thing. So yesterday morning, I was going to get a little bit of sewing in before work because I don't usually log on to 9:30. And so, I tend to get up a little bit earlier sometimes. And so it was a little earlier than that. And so I came down, and so I did what I always do, and I started YouTube. And I started watching a video, and then something came up on my feed, and Maggie Smith had passed away. Now, if you don't know who Maggie Smith is, she is an outstanding she was an outstanding British actress. I know her most from Professor McGonagall and Harry Potter, but I knew her first as one of the nuns on Sister Act. So for me, I knew her first as the nun on Sister Act. Then second was Harry Potter. And then lastly, most recently, I know her from Downton Abbey. I guess I didn't shut the door all the way. But I know her most from Downton Abbey. I had heard about the show. I hadn't watched it. This was back in 2015. I don't know what season they were in. Maybe season 3, I think. Maybe season 3 or 4 they were in at that point. And this is back when it came on PBS, okay? And in January of 2015, I had a surgery. And I was laid up, and I was out of work for 6 weeks. And for the first few days, I lived in a 2-story house at the time, and going up and down the stairs was not something that I was allowed to do. So I was kind of stuck on the couch downstairs. And so my kids were at school, and my husband at the time was at work, and I decided I was going to binge watch something. I decided that something was going to be Downton Abbey because they were showing it on PBS. It was one of those telethon fundraiser things that they do, and they were showing basically the whole thing. And I'm like, well, this is before I had any kind of streaming, right? I might have had, I think this is when I was still doing Redbox or getting Netflix to send me DVDs. I don't think I had any streaming. I think I still had regular cable at this time. I don't think I had any Hulu, any Netflix. I think this is before Prime Video even. I don't even think if Prime Video was out, I wasn't streaming it. So this is just regular TV, PBS. And I watched the first episode, and I'm like, this is really good. This is well written. This is well acted. Maggie Smith steals the scene in every one she's in. She's just so great. She was so great. And I fell in love with that show, and I watched it until the end. I've seen all the movies, and yesterday when I found out that she passed, I stopped everything I was doing. I stopped everything that I was watching, and I decided that I was going to stream Downton Abbey. So right now I am on season 2, what episode are we on here? Season 2, episode 5. The first few seasons are free on Prime. It looks like all 6 seasons are streaming for free on Prime. If you are a Prime member and you have not seen Downton Abbey, I highly recommend it. I think it is very well written, very well acted. They give there's so many different characters, and they give them all a story and a backstory. And I just feel like we're at a day and age where things aren't well written anymore. There's just so much bad television, so many bad movies. I feel like a lot of the stuff that is produced now feels very much AI generated. It just does not feel like actual people wrote it, or the people who wrote it, they didn't really care about telling a story. It's like they only cared about getting a script written as quickly as possible to make as much money as possible. And it feels very much like that when you watch it. And when you watch Downton Abbey, you don't feel any of that. You feel like the people who wrote it were really trying to tell a story, and they told it really well, and they got really good actors to play all of the parts. Like, it's just so well done, and there's so much cattiness and pettiness. I love Bridgerton, but Downton Abbey isn't quite, it's not as heavily sexed as Bridgerton. Bridgerton is very much more modern. Downton Abbey is very much more Jane Austen type. Anyway, I'm loving it, and I'm very thankful for Miss Maggie Smith. I'm very thankful for just well-written dramas, well-written movies, well-written just well-written, not a lot of gaps and plot holes where we just skip over reality and logic because we want to be able to say a specific thing or do a specific thing in a scene, so we suspend all reality so that we can do that. None of that in this show, Not saying that there of course there are going to be some shortcuts, because you can't condense real life into short form without skipping some of the minutia. So of course it does that, but just really well done, really well told, especially those first 3 seasons. Just, you won't get much better television than that, I'm telling you. Anyway, so what have I been up to? So, since last Thursday, I have done some sewing. So, last Saturday was National Sew a Jelly Roll Day. I decided I was not going to try to make a jelly roll quilt. That was not... I have forced it in prior years, and I decided I was not going to do that. Last year, I didn't make anything, because the prior 2 years, I committed to making a full quilt, like a lap size, and I didn't want to do that. Because if I'm going to commit to that, then I know I need to be able to say, I'm going to spend this entire day working on this one project, and I want to try to get at least the quilt top done. So if I'm going to do a jelly roll, National Sew a Jelly Roll Day, and I'm going to commit to a quilt, then I'm also committing to getting that quilt done that day. Right? I need to get it done. And I've already got like so many other things I'm working on, and I didn't want to commit to that, but I wanted to do at least something this year. So I had one of those June Taylor Quilt As You Go kits, and I decided I would do that. And one of the projects that I had was for some mug mats. I thought they were going to be small little mug rugs like this that came in one of our open gate quilt boxes, but they're not. They're actually quite large. I did them in this blue. I just used my stash. I had a stash of batik 2.5-inch strips. So I just put these little puppies together. On the very first one, I completely forgot to attach the backing first. This one here, I did this one first, and I actually didn't attach the backing, and so I just did the strips onto the batting. So then I went back and kind of stitched in the ditch to complete the quilting. Only thing about most of these Quilt As You Go products, your back is not going to look as cohesive as if you quilted it for real. Now, there are ways to get around that, but most of these projects don't really do that. And there are steps you can take, but then it kind of takes the fun out of the project. So like you can see, or maybe you can't, I use this same backing on all of them. This fabric is Christmas Starflower. It's from Christmas Starflower, I believe it's called, by Create Joy for Moda. I had a yard of it. I took half a yard, and I was able to make all three of these with half a yard, or a little less than half a yard, really. But let's see. You can kind of see where the stitching kind of crosses over. So in order to not do that, you would have to like start your stitching, instead of starting your stitching on the edge of the strip, you'd have to start your stitching, you have to start or stop your stitching 1/4 inch from the edge and then try to match it that way. And that just kind of takes the fun out of doing a project like that. So I didn't really worry about how the back was going to look. So I've got 3 of these, and for me, I think what I'm going to use these for, now I'm kind of wishing I had did them rainbow and colorful. I did the blue so I could bring them upstairs and use them upstairs, because I think they could be good for that too. I think what I'm going to use these for, sometimes when I'm down here, I do eat. And I do use paper plates a lot, and so the moisture sometimes from the food gets onto my mat, or I'm also just a messy eater sometimes, and my food, I need to clean my wool mat because I've got food that is spilled onto the mat. So I'm going to use this for things like that. When I'm eating down here, when I'm drinking down here, I'm going to be using one of these to put my plate on or my cup on. So in case I do have spillage or something seeps through, it won't get on my wool mat. I think I need to do a video soon, maybe next weekend, about how I wash my wool mat. But yeah, I thought this was fun. Also, sometimes, we watch football in the living room and we eat. I thought it might be nice to have something that we could put on the couch to sit our plate down, so we're not sitting our plate onto the couch, because I bought new furniture about 1.5 years ago. I bought good furniture for the first time in my life. It's leather. It's actual real leather. The first time I've ever had good furniture in my life. And I want to keep it looking nice. And we do try to do that. So I thought this would be nice, or even if we're just eating a snack, eating some popcorn, these would be kind of nice. So I made these. I did not finish them on Saturday. Actually didn't finish these up until Monday. But I did do some other sewing though. So I worked on these. I finally finished. Where is it? I finally finished the project, one of the projects from the Open Gate Quilt box, I think from back in like March. And I didn't finish it because of the binding. It was continuous bias binding, which I've never done. So I finally worked that out. And so I finally got that puppy done. Love this. Absolutely adore this thing. I love how the bias binding came out. It was a struggle, but I finally got it done. So that's another one done, another project done. I'm so happy about it. Oh, this is the back I put on it. Just because I bought this fabric from Joann's. It matches my house. So I can put this, I could use this as a table topper if I wanted to, and do it this way. Or I could put it on my table like this way even, and it would still match and be a completely different kind of fun look. So finally got that done. Okay, and let's see what else we got. I finally got some bowl cozies made. So I made these for myself, for the house, for my house. And I made these for my Aunt Dot and my daughter. They wanted a bowl cozy and a plate cozy. I'm worried this bowl cozy is too small. So I'm probably going to have to make another one of these because I feel like it's too small. But I think I'm happy with the plate cozy. We shall see. I made this one. This is the one that came with the Open Gate Quilt box. So I made that one because there was bowl cozies in the box. So I made that bowl cozy as well. And I've got some other ones that I was going to make, but I'm thinking that they're going to end up coming out too small, just like this one. So I haven't finished making them because of that. I might have to charge those to the game. I might have to scrap those. I don't know. What else did I sew? I started these when I did the stripology retreat. I think that was back in April. think it was April. One of the patterns, I didn't finish either quilt, but the side project, there were 2 lap-size quilts, and then there was another smaller project. I finally finished that smaller project. It was a pattern called Inga, and this was what I was doing. I chose to take my blocks and make 4 placemats. So I finally got these puppies quilted and bound. Now these are just placemats. These are going to get dirty. So I didn't want complicated quilting. And plus I wanted to get these done. So I just stitched in the ditch around just the basic square. I didn't even do this strip here. I just stitched, 1, 2, these 3 lines down, and then flipped it over and did these 2 lines across. The backing is just a basic solid gray. But I got these done. So I'm happy about that, because that was another project that I had sitting. Now I do have to do a little bit of, because there was on this one here, I didn't adequately catch the binding in the, right there. See that? On both sides. So I got to go back and fix that, but that'll be a really quick fix. I was really careful on the other ones to make sure that that didn't happen on the other ones. So it's just this one I have to go back and fix. I might just throw that under my machine and just throw in a couple stitches, because I don't care that much if it's not perfect. And I did start a new quilt. I'm not going to show it to you because it's going to be its own new video. But I kind of got inspired when I did my opening for the Sew Sampler. The free pattern that they had for us, that they showed us, was the Jolly Bar Bakewell pattern. And that is this. Really hard to see it right there. I think I already threw away my box. It's somewhere. I think I already threw it away. But I saw that pattern and I was like, I kind of think I want to do that. But this pattern makes an 8.5-inch unfinished block. So they finish at 8 inches, and it's 40.5 by 48.5, and it has this 4-inch border all around it. Well, I decided that I was going to do some math, and I wanted to see how big I could make the block. So this block is made from a Jolly Bar, which is a 5 by 10 inch piece of fabric that is unique to Fat Quarter Shop. I wanted to see if I could make it from a layer cake and how big I could make the block and still use a layer cake. And I did figure out that the biggest I could make the block and still use a layer cake was a 14.5-inch unfinished block. So they finished at 14 inches. So I am making my quilt, but I'm making 14-inch blocks. I'm also timing myself because I wanted to know, like, people ask me how long it takes me to make a quilt. And I generally tell them anywhere from 20 to 40 hours, because I figure that if I was to make a quilt like it was my job and I was to start, at 9 o'clock in the morning and take 2 15-minute breaks and a 1-hour lunch, and I sewed from 9 to 6 every day, that it would take me, conceivably, I could get a quilt done in a week's time from start to finish. So that's what I'm trying to plot out here. So that's what I'm working on. So I'll give you a sneak peek. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of one of the blocks. Here we go. The colors are bringing me joy. So after I film this video, I will be working on that. But now I need to announce the giveaway winner. And honestly, I don't know who the winner is. And I don't know how many jelly rolls I have. I'm actually going to count them here. So the winner is whoever guessed how many jelly rolls I have in this bag. So I'm actually going to count them live. And then I'm going to go to the comments and see who the winner is and come back and announce the winner. Let's see how many we have in here. So it's whoever's the closest without going over. I think some of you might have tried to guess how many total jelly rolls I have, but we're just guessing how many are in this bag. And I honestly don't know because I did not count them when I put them in here. This is just a project. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to show them to you. So yeah, the winner is whoever said 13. Let's see who's the closest without going over. Let's see. All right, so I went back and looked at the comments, and the winner said 18. That was the lowest number. The lowest number was 18. And so that well, no, because I said the closest without going over. But since nobody was under that, nobody said less than 13. So since nobody said less than 13, even though I said the closest without going over, I'm going to give it to the person who was the closest. And that was Karen B57 because she said 18 jelly rolls. I'm going to show you the jelly rolls I've got, Karen, and that way you can pick the one you want. I have For the Love of Nature by Teresa Kogut for Riley Blake. So this is I can't even explain it. You probably might do better looking it up online. For the Love of Nature by Teresa Kogut, Kogut. I have this. This is Happy Place by Wishwell. I love this line. I've already made a quilt in this line. I have 2 jelly rolls and a layer cake from the same line. And that's why these jelly rolls are going to go on the to-go list. That's why they're in here. But I love this fabric. I actually have coordinating fabric from this line. Again, this is Wishwell. This is Happy Place by Wishwell. Happy Place by Wishwell. We have Clover and Dot by Wyndham. This is not a full jelly roll. This is a junior jelly roll, I believe. This was in a Fat Quarter Shop box. There's either 20, 22, or 24 in here. One of those. I'm not sure. I did not count. So we've got Clover and Dot. This is from Boundless. This is Lily and Loom. Well, not Boundless. Before Craftsy Blueprint. So this is Lily and Loom. I don't know the name of the line. But I've actually made a quilt from this fabric already. There are 20 different prints in here, and there are 2 of each print. That's why I used to love when Blueprint sold jelly rolls and layer cakes and Fat Quarters because there were always 20 different prints in every line. Love it. This is more of a blender. This is called, can't see what it's called. It looks like it's called Color Blends 2 by Quilting Treasures. This is another one. It looks like there aren't 2 of everything, but there are 2 of most. So all of the prints are the same, just a different color. So we've got some red, some pink, some burgundy, some different blues, some teal, some greens, some creams, brown. We have Shine On by Bonnie and Camille for Moda. So Karen B57, if you're looking at these, you can just let me know which one you want. Just email me. My email address will be in the description. So you can email me your full name and address and which jelly roll you want. This is Fright Delight by Lindsay Wilkes of the Cottage Mama for Riley Blake. Again, Fright Delight. This is a Halloween line. This is a junior jelly roll. So this has 20 strips in it. And each strip is completely different. Doesn't appear to be any duplicates in here. Love that. And this is on the list because I'm just not the biggest fan of holiday themed fabric. This one here, this is by Camelot Fabrics. I don't know what the line is, but I know I got this from fabric.com back when they were in existence. I thought this was cute. I thought this would make a really good quilt for a little girl, but I don't have a whole lot of little girls to make quilts for. But this would make a nice little girl's quilt, I thought. Like, it's from ages like 3 to 8. If they don't have any particular character that they like, and they just kind of like pink. This is called Interlude by Artley for Wilmington. This is all black, white, and gray with a little hint of blue. And it's all music themed. Interlude. Be a great quilt for a male, great for music lovers. This is Feathers and Foliage by Pink Chandelier for Wilmington. This would also make a great quilt for a little girl. Loved how bright the colors were in this. Feathers and Foliage. And this is XOXO by Clothworks. This is a junior jelly roll. There are 20 strips in here. And there do appear to be a couple of duplicates. XOXO. And the last one is a batik. This was cut by Quilt in a Day. So this isn't any particular line. I think they curated this themselves, right? So they curated various batik strips and put it together into this bundle here. They call it Fireworks Batik Roll. There are no duplicates, which is probably why I bought this, because I love when there are no duplicates. We've got all the colors represented. So those are the jelly rolls, Karen B57. Just email me. My email's in the description. Again, full name, address, and let me know which one you want. And I will get it in the mail to you. It usually takes me a week to 10 days to get it out, but I get it out. Let me know which one you want. And that is it for me, you guys, and I'll see you next video.